Good Sunday morning, Facebook and YouTube. You know what time it is. It is time to talk a little sports. Sunday Sports Wrap Up. I am your host, Kendrick, the sports guy. We're going to wrap up some of the top sports stories of this past week. Hope you all are having a great Sunday. And let's not forget, next Sunday, it's Father's Day. Is the fathers going to get a little love next Sunday? We'll talk a little bit about that at the end of the show. But again, make sure you come in here, like, subscribe to the YouTube channels if you have not already done so. Those channels are Kendrick Sports Hustle as well as TFG Sports Media. Doesn't cost you a dime. Subscribe to the channel, like, share this to all your social media platforms. I'm also live on TikTok as well. If you hadn't followed me on TikTok, follow me right now. Kendrick Henderson 51. We got people in the chat on TikTok already. Stephon Diggs, Money 784. He's in there. He says Matthew Golden is the best rookie wide receiver. Stephon Diggs, I'm with you. I got my namesake. Ken is in the house. Go, Pack, go. So, yeah, the chat room is filled over on TikTok. But if you're watching me on YouTube and Facebook, make sure you come in and comment. Let me know where you're watching from. And I also got to do this to my Wi-Fi connection every Sunday. I got to do it. I got to talk to it. All right, Wi-Fi, you know the drill. You come in here, you don't touch nothing, you don't ask for nothing, and you make sure there is no buffering issues. Damn it, you hear me? We're going to have a great 30-minute run. Okay, Wi-Fi? I think the Wi-Fi is all right with that. So, again, make sure you come in, like, comment, subscribe, share this to all your social media platforms. So, again, what's up, Tess? Appreciate the follow. I thank you for that. Let's go ahead and jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the Knicks. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the Pacers and the Thunder because they got game 2 tonight. It tips off at 7 p.m. on ABC. But the Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau after 5 seasons. And there are new details now that have came out on the reason behind the firing of Thibodeau, or Tibbs as he's affectionately called. According to Ramona Shelburne, who's a sports writer. She follows the NBA. She's been an NBA beat writer for years. She's done stuff for ESPN. According to Ramona Shelburne, she reported that the Knicks fired Thibodeau over Jalen Brunson's usage and over Tibbs' schematic shortcomings during the NBA playoffs. This, again, is according to Ramona Shelburne, is why Leon Rose, James Dolan decided to get rid of the most successful 5-year run they've had since the 90s under Tom Thibodeau. He kind of put the New York Knicks back on the map. So, again, this is according to Ramona Shelburne. That is the reason why Leon Rose and James Dolan, the owner of the Knicks, decided to cut ways with Tom Thibodeau. I could believe that, but it doesn't really make sense. If you already, okay, Jalen Brunson is in his 2nd year with the Knicks, I get that. But if you have problems with Thibodeau's schematic shortcomings, wouldn't you have decided after his 2nd year that you needed to cut bait? Wouldn't nice you have all those pride decorations behind you? Stop it, Micah. We're not going to be doing that. No, it will be no Packer slander in this chat over on TikTok. But you can stay. No more Packer slander. I can take it, but you know you like it. That's why you're feeling some type of way. But back to Thibodeau. Back to Thibodeau. My problem with this, if that's the reasoning, why wouldn't you have let him go about 3 seasons ago? If you're saying you had schematic problem with his play in the NBA playoffs, they made the playoffs 4 out of the 5 years he was there. You didn't have problems after that the first year they made the playoffs under him. You didn't have problems the 2nd year under him. But now after the Eastern Conference Finals, now you got problems. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I think it was still a knee-jerk reaction by Leon Rose and James Dolan, and the Knicks organization is known for making some bonehead decisions sometime, and I think that's what it was. I don't think this had nothing to do with no schematic shortcomings because, again, as I said, if that was the case, they would have got rid of him 3 years ago and wouldn't have signed him to an extension. He just signed a 3-year extension last summer, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't buy that. I don't believe that had nothing to do with his firing. I think it was just a knee-jerk reaction by Leon Rose and James Dolan. So, again, that's the new information on the firing of Tom Thibodeau, who, again, he had a successful run as the Knicks head coach. The Knickerbockers hadn't been relevant for a while. He led the Knicks to the playoffs 4 of his 5 seasons there. It was their first time in the Eastern Conference Finals since, I think, 2000. And there you have it. Wow, love to see the Pride Month celebration headquarters. Boy, y'all need to get off that Pride stuff month. Come on now. Yeah, y'all need to come with something a little bit better than that. What's up, Luke K? Hi, I'm back. Bear down. You right. And the Bears are gonna stay down, Luke K. But I appreciate you popping in. Make sure y'all like this live stream. Click and do that for me. Follow and click that follow button. So again, Tom Thibodeau. That's the news. That was the new details, the new information from Ramona Shelburne. That was the reason. I see you, Vikings fan. I see you in there. Who wins the NBA today? Robert. Great segue. That's Robert on TikTok. Tonight, again, the Pacers and the Thunder tip off 7 p.m. on ABC. The Pacers were able to steal game 1 by the heroics of Tyrese Halliburton, who I think now he is probably, you can put him in that tier 1 level of being a superstar. I always said that he was a star, but I didn't know if he had that superstar. Was he in the Anthony Edwards, the Ja Morants, the Nikola Jokic, the Giannis Antetokounmpo, the LeBron James? Was he at that? Was he in that tier 1? Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. Was he in that tier? I think now you have to put Tyrese Halliburton in that tier. But I do think tonight the Thunder will win. They will hold serve. They will win game 2 tonight. I still think the Thunder will win this series in 6. But it's gonna be a dogfight. Ain't caught shit fishing club. I love that. I love that Stephon Diggs money. Hey, Stephon Diggs, man, you stay off them boats, man. You stay off them boats. Yeah, I don't know what you got going on. I can't stand the OKC Thunder. I said, how about them Cowboys? A Cowboys fan has entered the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, Cedric? How you doing? Yeah, them Cowboys, they going to go all right because, hey, you know what's going down on Sunday Night Football in Week 4, right, Cedric? We coming to Lambeau Field South. You know we own that stadium, right? It's going down. Good morning. Good rising to you, brother. Good Sunday to you. But again, the Pacers Thunder, again, that tip off tonight. I did find some numbers that I want to throw at you, ladies and gentlemen, because a lot of people were saying, and I'm in a couple of different sports groups, a lot of people were saying, nobody's going to watch this finals. It's you got 2 small market teams, which I get it. The Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. They are both from the 25th and 47th largest markets, so that's technically small, medium markets. Well, game 1 ratings weren't that great, ladies and gentlemen, I must say. According to the article I read, the average rating for game 1, Thunder and the Pacers, was 4.7. That's a 4.7 rating. That means 8.91 people viewed game 1 on ABC, and it was the least watched game 1 in Nielsen meter era. In the Nielsen meter era, it was the least watched game 1 in the Nielsen meter era, and that era started in 1988. Good rising to you, Weef. How you doing? The Pacific Northwest is in the house. Seattle Seahawks, I see you. So again, you know that saying, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Well, I guess the numbers don't. It's also saying that it's an 18% ratings decline and a 19% viewership decline from game 1 of last year's NBA Finals, which we know was the Celtics and the Mavs. So for all those that said that this probably is going to be one of the most least watched NBA Finals in decades, it looks like it's on the way. It looks like it's on the way. But me personally, if you're an NBA guy, you're gonna watch. But again, I understand you want to get casual fans to watch these games too, and the most casual fans aren't going to watch because technically there's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's a star. Again, Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, those they ain't really household names. So if you're not a diehard NBA fan, if you're not a Pacer fan or a Thunder fan, yeah, most likely you're not really interested in watching this. You're not interested in staying, tuning in. You're probably going to be watching Netflix or something else. But again, I'm still going to watch because I'm an NBA guy, and we're going to see what happens. So again, that's tonight, Game 2, Thunder host the Pacers. Pacers took Game 1. They the comeback kids of this playoff run that they're on. They took again Game 1, 111-100, and I think the Thunder will win tonight and even this thing up. Now let's talk about Mr. Rodgers' neighborhood. Mr. Rodgers, that is Aaron Rodgers. He's found a new neighborhood. He is now a Steeler. The 41-year-old former New York Jet, former Green Bay Packer quarterback. He signed a one-year deal, and we did find the financial details on that. He did sign a one-year deal. I think it's like $13 million for 1 year, with $10 million of that guaranteed. So that is the deal. With that, Luke Rose says, "What do you think our record will be this year?" I'm thinking we're gonna go 12-5, Luke. I think we'll go 12-5, and we're gonna start off. We're gonna start off kicking them Lions' ass in week 1. How about that, Luke? That's what we're gonna do. Robert says, "How long will he play?" I think this is it for him, Robert. I think this is his last hurrah. I think for A-Rod, I do. He'll be 42 in December. Can he still play the position? Oh yeah, he can still play the position. But I think after that Achilles ruptured Achilles, I think he lacks a little bit of mobility. So that means you're gonna have a little bit more protection for him. So I think this is his last. I think this is his last hurrah. Me personally. Again, he's coming off of average year for him. The Jets were 5-12. He threw for 3,897 yards and 28 touchdowns and 11 interceptions with the Jets last season. Obviously, y'all know he missed his first season with them after rupturing that Achilles. But again, the Steelers went ahead and made that and pulled the plug on that and may sign him up. Well, I did find out some new information this morning too on this Aaron Rodgers Pittsburgh Steelers marriage. He actually wasn't the first option or the first choice, according to Adam Schefter, ESPN's NFL insider. He said on Friday that actually the Steelers were trying to pull off a trade for the Rams' Matthew Stafford. That was their first option. But it didn't fall through. The trade talks didn't go. It didn't go the way the Steelers wanted. That fell through. Well, their second option was to re-sign Justin Fields, who we all know they had traded for, and he ended up playing behind. He started a few games, but ended up playing behind Russell Wilson. Well, he decided that he didn't really want to. He wanted to test the free agent market rather than re-sign with the Steelers. And guess what? He signed a 2-year, $40 million deal with the New York Jets, who, by the way, the Jets and the Steelers open up against each other in week 1. So that's the new information on Aaron Rodgers. The Steelers actually, he wasn't their first choice. That's interesting. I said, okay. So now here we are, Pittsburgh Steelers. Luke says A-Rod's my favorite player of all time, but it's his time to hang it up. I think he is. I think so, Luke. I'm not. He's one of the top quarterbacks, obviously, 4-time NFL MVP, future Hall of Famer, first ballot. We all know that's going to happen. But it's hard to tell an athlete when to hang it up. I agree. When it's something they've done all their life. What's up, Max? How you doing? I got somebody from Hawaii. How's the weather over in Hawaii? My good man. Thank you for popping in and watching. But it's hard for those guys to hang it up. You saw what Tom Brady did. He said he was done, and then a couple of months later, he was back. I think this is his last go around, and quite frankly, I think Mike Tomlin days in Pittsburgh might be up too. This is I think this is a make or break season for Mike Tomlin, and I like Tomlin as a coach. He's been there 18 seasons, always made the playoffs every year, took them to a Super Bowl in his second year, but they haven't done much in the playoffs in the last 7-8 years. Hadn't done much. That quarterback position has been very, very shaky. They've had some issues, with certain players, and George Pickens, who's very talented, they traded him away. Due to some chemistry issues and whatnot. So I think this is the last hurrah for Mike Tomlin too. I think whatever happens this season with the Steelers, it definitely is going to affect his coach. Will he continue coaching in Pittsburgh? And we all know that organization doesn't fire coaches. Most of the time, coaches leave on their own accord or they retire. So again, A-Rod is with the Steelers. He's going to be in that tough AFC North division. The Ravens, the Bengals, and the Browns. He's going to have that Ravens defense is definitely going to cause some problems. The Bengals defense is pretty decent. As far as the Browns, we really don't know. As far as them defensively, offensively, they trying to figure it out with their quarterback situation as well. So again, A-Rod is with his third team. Is his 19th season, I believe. And again, I think this is it. I really think it is. Do I think this was the best option for the Pittsburgh Steelers? At this point, I think this was the only option. They drafted the young fella out of Ohio State, Will Howard. Eagles are your dad. Who you talk? Oh, you must be talking. The Eagles beat us, again, week 1, but they ain't our daddy. No, they might be our step daddy, AP, but they ain't our daddy. But we got something for them too. Matter of fact, I think we play the Eagles. Matter of fact, y'all come to Lambeau in week 10, I believe, sir. So we got something for you, Dirty Birds. Yeah. Y'all can wait. I think y'all come to Lambeau in November, Playboy. Yeah, we got something for them Dirty Birds. But much respect to the Eagles. They the Super Bowl champs. Hats off to them. To the way they dismantled them damn Kansas City Chiefs. Ain't no problem. Yeah, it's gonna be some problems, AP. Oh, you're gonna have some problems in Lambeau. We got something for you. But shout out to y'all. Much respect the way y'all dismantled them Kansas City Chiefs and y'all stopped that 3-peat. I gotta give y'all love for that. Because I really didn't want to see the Chiefs be the first team ever to 3-peat in the NFL. So I appreciate you guys doing that. And it was a great Super Bowl run too. I heard Lambeau is the nicest fans in the NFL. I wish we could be a little bit more assholes like the Eagles fans, because y'all are obnoxious. Them Philly fans, good Lord. I don't know who the worst, Philly fans or Oklahoma Sooner fans, because good Lord, them Philly fans, y'all bars none. Y'all done threw batteries at that doggone Santa Claus and cheered when Michael Irvin had a career-ending injury and was laying flat on the field. I'm like, boy, these Eagle fans, they don't, boy, y'all bars none. You guys bars none. So yeah, can't wait for the season. You look like the greatest player to ever play for the Jazz. Kyle's. Oh, somebody else had told me that before. I've heard that. Some say I resemble Karl Malone. I've heard that before too. Robert says should have signed a one-day contract with Green Bay and retired. Yeah, I just don't, A-Rod, I just don't think, the mailman. I just don't think he was going to do that, Robert. But, at this point, he's a Steelers. He's a Steeler fan. I mean, he's a Steelers quarterback. He has DJ Metcalf and some other young receivers and that tight end they got. So we're going to see what happens. And again, the Steelers open up with the Jets in week 1. And oh, by the way, I believe the Steelers come to Lambeau too. If I'm not mistaken, I think we host the Steelers too. So there you have it. This is going to be his last hurrah. He wanted to go to the Vikings and they didn't want him. That's right, he did. They passed. Yeah, Eagles fan here, but Love is one of my favorite quarterbacks. Appreciate that, Kyle Seisman. Hopefully I said that right. If I said that wrong, charge it to my head, not to my heart. Windstream, appreciate the follow. Thanks, I appreciate that. So we got a whole lot more NFL we're gonna be talking about. Got the mandatory mini camps kick off next week. We got, if you watch Hard Knocks, HBO NFL Hard Knocks, that kicks off the second week in August, and they're going to be focusing on the Buffalo Bills as well. And then the in-season Hard Knocks will be featuring the NFC East. What's up, Richie Rich? Go Pack, go, brother. Appreciate the love. Thanks, Dad. Dude, you are one of 5 people that have pronounced it right. Mad props. Man, thanks for the love. I was hopefully I got it right. I know I hate to butcher people's names because I don't want people to butcher mine. He wanted to do the Brett Favre. Yeah, he did. And it's funny, you know, when you think about it, you think about their relationship, it's funny how their careers somewhat, especially the end of their careers, are parallel to one another. The irony of that, would you say? The NFC North is going to be crazy this year. It always is, always tough. I always tell people, I think the NFC North, the AFC North, the NFC North, and NFC East are the 3 most competitive divisions in the NFL. Always have been, in my opinion. How good can this wide receiver core be? I think it could be, I think we could be good. I think we could be really good if Christian Watson would be back. But I think we could be good. Now, I don't know if we can scare some folks. We can with Matthew Golden with that speed, but I think as a group, I think we probably rank somewhere in the middle of the pack, in my opinion, in the NFL. Only 1 Super Bowl, too. Should be at least 2 for the both of them. AP, you right on. I always tell people that when I talk about Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and when I talked about Mike McCarthy, as long as he coached the Packers, he dropped the ball. There should have been more than 1 Super Bowl. Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, and then Brett Favre. It should have been more than once, between the both of them. So, I totally agree with that. Appreciate the follow too, Richie. So again, we gearing up. NFL again, mandatory mini camp start next week, and then we got the training camps kicks off in mid-July, and it's gonna be fun. So we're gonna see what happens. You watch Netflix Fall of Brett Favre. His wife is a saint. I hadn't watched that. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to check that out. That give me something to watch. And appreciate that. Appreciate that suggestion. Who is that? P88. I ain't gonna even try to say that, but I appreciate that. I'm definitely gonna check that out. And let's stick to the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, my good brothers. We got 3 former NFL players, man, that just can't get right. And when I say just can't get right, I don't know if y'all watched the movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, but there's a character on there by the name of Just Can't Get Right. And for some reason, he just can't get right. Well, these three former NFL players, they can't seem to get right either. Let's start off with the former Cincinnati Bengals, the 12-year former NFL player, Adam Pac-Man Jones. I don't know if y'all saw, but he actually ended up getting arrested, I believe, in Cincinnati, in Ohio, or in Kentucky, I believe, on Saturday morning. And he was charged with public intoxication, disorderly conduct, and assaulting a police officer after they received a call that there was a disturbance between an employee and a customer at a bar. And they got there, and they already could tell Pac-Man was under the influence. He started mouthing off, and then eventually they got him to the precinct, and then he assaulted a police officer. This is like the 4th arrest for Adam Pac-Man Jones for public intoxication and disorderly conduct in the last 4 or 5 years. Go Pac, go! That's right, Tom Berger. And I like Pac-Man Jones. I really do. He actually adopted the son of his late teammate. I can't remember Chris Henry. You all remember Chris Henry that was killed in that tragic truck accident. I think it happened in North Carolina or Georgia, where Adam Pac-Man Jones actually adopted his son, who was a top-notch wide receiver coming out of high school. I think he was a 4-star recruit, and I think he was going to sign with Ohio State. But I'm like, come on, you're 41 years old, Pac-Man Jones. When are you going to learn, man? This enough of this already. The brother needs help. So he did bond out on Saturday morning on $10,000, and I'm sure he's going to have some court dates and probably get some probation for that. So again, Adam Pac-Man Jones, who played in the league in 12 years, played for the Bengals the majority of the time. He played for the Cowboys, played for the Titans, and he played for the Broncos as well. Again, he got into a little trouble, and he's going to have some more court hearings on his itinerary. Another one, Greg Hardy, the former Carolina Panther, the former Dallas Cowboy who left football after his football days were pretty much shot after, his stint after that domestic violence charge, and he didn't have a good stint with the Cowboys. He tried the UFC, and he was getting knocked out in the UFC. They eventually let him go from the UFC. Well, he got into some trouble on this past Wednesday as well. He was charged with family domestic violence. Don't know the whole details of that, but he was arrested on Wednesday. Another former NFL player and another former Cowboy. Y'all see the connection here, right? I ain't trying to say all Cowboys players are bad people, because they're not. But they're, what in the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? And the last one, and the most saddest one, Kelvin Joseph, former Dallas Cowboy. He was drafted, I believe, in the third round in 2024. 2021. He was involved in a pre-dawn fatality accident Saturday in Richardson, which is a suburb of Dallas, which resulted in the death of 27-year-old Cody Morris of Plano. Actually, Mr. Morris was on a motorcycle. According to the reports from WFAA, the ABC affiliate in Dallas, Kelvin Joseph would call the Plano police and say that he was involved in a vehicular accident. Joseph would eventually be arrested on charges of DWI, which is a misdemeanor, but he was charged with a second-degree felony for collision involving personal injury or death. Again, Kelvin Joseph. Again, he was a former cornerback that never really got on the field. He was drafted by the Cowboys. They would cut him. He would sign. They would trade him to Miami. Wouldn't do anything there. He would get a brief stint with Seattle. Then he was out of the NFL. He was playing in the UFL for the DC Defenders. And now here we are now. He's pretty much, his life is over, pretty much. Again, you would have thought that this young man would have learned his lesson. Just a couple of years ago, he was involved. He was in the car with two guys that shot and killed another man outside a Dallas nightclub. He was in the car. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys always saying they're going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, they all need to go to rehab. I agree, Robert. And that's just a sad, sad story for a young man that played at LSU, that had some potential. That is Kelvin Joseph, running with the wrong people. Couldn't be a responsible drinker. He gets behind his vehicle, and he takes the life of another innocent young man. Such is the life. I want to sit here and say I feel sorry for Mr. Joseph. I can't, because when you choose to drink and drive, when you know you're inebriated and you get behind the wheel, you got to suffer the consequences that go with that. That's just my personal opinion. So again, these former NFL players, man, and again, this is just I want to say this before I say that, because it's not all NFL players. Actually, it's just a small percentage of players that actually we read, we get arrested or they're in the headlines in that instance, because it's more players that's doing good than it is that's doing bad. So I definitely want to put that out there. Robert says, all that money, why not have an Uber driver? Robert, you know why? My good brother, because that makes too much damn sense. That makes too much sense, Robert. Makes too much sense. So there you have it. So again, definitely sending out condolences to that young man's family, man. 27 years old, man. He should have a full life ahead of him. And again, we're sending peace, love, and light to his family. So that's a wrap for today's show. I want to thank all the love I received over here in TikTok, on the chat. Those that maybe watched me on Facebook and YouTube that was in the bushes, didn't comment, much love to you as well. You can catch me here every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, where we're giving you Sunday sports wrap-up. We're wrapping up some of the biggest stories that happened in the week. Matter of fact, I'm going to produce a segment on the young lady pitcher, by the way. I don't want to butcher her name. what's her name? Najee Candidate, the pitcher for Texas Tech. I'm gonna produce a segment on her. Yeah, Robert, appreciate you. See you next week. You have a great day too. I'm gonna produce a segment here and talk about how this young lady has put the women's softball, college softball on the map. Not that it hadn't been off the map, but she's definitely put it in the spotlight. So we're going to produce a segment. I'm going to post that here to TikTok as well as YouTube and Facebook here in a few hours. But again, I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you come back. Check me out on Saturday at 10 a.m. where I come on, we talk a little sports, and we chat it up. Also, catch me here next Sunday, which, by the way, is going to be Father's Day. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all make sure y'all take care of these fathers out here. And my show next Sunday, we're going to be talking about the fathers and sons in the athletic realm. You know, that's what we're going to be talking. Robert Wood, first time here, looking forward for more content. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching. That was Robert Woodard over there on YouTube. But we're going to be talking about fathers and sons in sports. Got a whole bunch of great relationships. Got a whole bunch of great fathers, man. That's definitely been a catalyst for their sons. So that's going to be our special Father's Day show on next Sunday. So again, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Again, make sure you keep it locked here for all your sports news, breaking news, and live streams. I am Kendrick, the sports guy. We will see you on the other side and on the next report. I am out. Peace.